There we go.
Well, well, well. Do we have a few more people still coming, or this is it?
Do.
Where are you, Claire, where it's snowing?
Yeah, I'm in a little town in northern Norway. In the Arctic.
What?
I am literally in the Arctic Circle.
You
It,
are living the dream. Oh
I
my
know.
days.
Look,
Oh my days.
Wow, lovely.
Hashtag so jealous. Oh wow.
yeah,
Be still my beating heart. Whew.
yeah. It's insane, absolutely insane. We went to a like frozen waterfall last night.
Wow.
So the front is all frozen, but
Dang.
you can still hear it like crashing down in the background. It's absolutely wild.
That
Wow.
is magic.
It is.
Hmm.
Couldn't
Yeah.
Bible Society fund a session for us all to come out in?
Well, and take like altitude to the kind of
I think so.
okay. I'll talk to Laura, see if we can
Hmm.
put a proposal together.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Call it a field trip. We can do a bit of Norway and then a bit
That's
of Kenya.
that's it. I'll see
I'm
what
sure,
Lisa
Thank
says.
you, Alex.
Yeah.
You're
sure
welcome.
I'll
I'm
find some
coming.
budget somewhere.
Yeah, there you go, Sarah. Well done.
Oh, wow.
I think when you're ready, Gabriel, we can
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, well, yeah. So I'd prefer that field trip. I'm not sure I'd want to come where Claire is. I'd love to watch those who are there, but I don't think I want to go there. It's some of us we can only handle a level of cold. Anything below 9 degrees Celsius, we are all screaming and crying. So I don't know how we can survive in -8. But it's such a joy to see you guys. I know we met last month and now here we are. So this is good. This is good. We're getting used to each other. We're getting to become good friends. Would any of you consider me as your friend, or is it me just considering you as my friends? Anybody would like to say I'm Gabriel's friend or Gabriel is my friend?
Yes, let's do
Yes,
it. I'll
Gabriel.
say it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's important for my ego to say that I have friends in the UK. And actually, I was telling Claire that I'll be coming to the UK in June. Hopefully it works out, and who knows? Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Yes. Okay, okay. Someone is alerting. Oh, Claire, you might have to give me permission to share. I realize I can't share. So yeah, so you guys have been on this journey. Congratulations, this for you are making good progress. And as you keep climbing and keep climbing this mountain, it's getting more interesting and more fun. And now you're at a point now where you are now you've worked on yourself, you're working on becoming, and probably now you're at a point where there are a number of things you're confident about. But now is to now turn and say, okay, so now how do we build other people? What is it that then we can do to help others? Because it's not just you becoming good, yet everybody around you is wondering, how do I do this? How do I manage? But I think it's important to be able to say, I'll walk this journey with others. And that is why this scripture we have today is very important to me. And I find it, for me, it's the one thing that really, really sold me to Giant. When I came to Giant and I saw this scripture, and this is the DNA of Giant, that as you go proclaim this message, the kingdom of heaven has come near, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons, and freely you have received, freely give. This is about liberation. So I'd like to hear from you guys. Anybody, maybe this is a scripture you've interacted with in the past, or if it is a new one, but you're reading it and you're having some thoughts as you read it, it would be good just to reflect, to hear your thoughts on what does this scripture mean to you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anybody willing to go first? I had someone, yeah, was it Rich? Rich, was that you willing to
Yeah.
just go first?
Uh, what does this mean to me? It challenges me, Gabriel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The freely you have received, freely give. It sounds good. In practice, it's very difficult.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
but
mm.
and then yes, I can't say I've healed sick, raised dead. cleansed lepers or driven out demons. But I do believe the kingdom of heaven has come near still.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, and of course, it's a challenge. It's a real challenge to all of us. And what does it mean to, because people are going through emotional sickness, mental issues, and people are going through a situation that they need some message of hope. They need some message of liberation. Raise the dead. There are people who their potential for some reason they've given up. They've given up on themselves. They've given up on rising up to do the thing that initially they were so excited about. But because of some things have not worked their way, they've just said, "Ah, it's okay." Abdication. They're in the zone of abdication, and maybe they need some liberation. And of course, there are people who really are captured with fears and doubts, and they're worried and they're concerned about what's going on. So, how do we cast out those fears and cast out those doubts and help them really show up well? I don't know if anybody else want to share their thoughts on this scripture. Anybody, this scripture, maybe Kate. What are your thoughts on this scripture, Kate?
Yeah, similar to Rich. But yeah, I think just sort of hearing it again, like reading it again now, it's like the bits that's standing out to me. Obviously, yes, that the freely you have received, freely give. Like we've received blessings, and we should now like be called to bless others and treat others well. And yeah, I think just sort of reading it again as well, the sort of like focus on heal the sick, raise the dead. It's like actually very like authoritative, and like it isn't like, oh, if you fancy doing this, or like you might like to. It's like a real kind of call to action. And yeah, I think that just sort of like stood out to me.
Mm,
More like how sort of empowering it is and direct. So yeah.
mm. Thank you. Thank you. And it's all the message of liberation. How do I liberate someone? And as now as we try to turn the spotlight to those around us, those around you, could be your family members, could be your team members. I want you to be thinking of some people around you that you could be good news to. You could be a liberator too. And we'll be just be processing some of those. How do I, you've gotten well, you've been on a journey of getting well, but now is to get others well too. And of course, know yourself, to lead yourself is still a primarily, it's a focus. That even when I'm leading others, when I'm being intentional, what are some of the areas where there's a gap in me still that I need to figure out what does it mean for me then to intentionally lead others? This morning I was talking to a young lady who we reconnected after we just discovered the last time we saw each other was 2018. And she was reaching out and she was like, Gabriel, you helped me get a job. You helped me set my path on the career that I am right now. So I just felt like I needed to connect with you to update you how my career journey has been. I'm now the country manager of XYZ. And I'd really appreciate if you could help me because I find myself in a space, I'm leading diverse kind of people. And I'm wondering how best can I lead them? And I like what is in her heart. She really want to know how best can she lead other people. But then, of course, she hasn't been into this journey that you've been. So I had some conversation with her, just letting her know that maybe we need to first focus on you, and then we can get to a point where now you can be healthy enough to lead others. Because sometimes when you quickly run into that, you might get into some challenges. And of course, so she's intentionally asking herself, how can I be a better leader? And that's the question that then, what does it mean for us to intentionally lead? And of course, we've gone through this 5 gears. And 5 gears, it's interesting that it was developed, or rather, it became a tool after Jeremy Kubishek, who is one of the co founders of Giant, visited his colleague and friend Steve in the UK. And as they were doing the gears, gear one, two, three, then light bulb moment and the tool became a reality. And so this is very practical. I taught it to my children during COVID, and it is so sticky. It is simple. It's so sticky. And then at that point, when I taught it to my kids, my youngest at that point was 5 years old, and all he could remember was gear three. And every now and then came, Daddy, it's gear three, because that meant we're gonna watch a movie, we're gonna do something together. And he loved those moments when as a family we could do stuff together. And this gives a good, and I remember also there's a time I was with the Giant HQ guys and we were having lunch together. I was in Oklahoma. And the liberation that this gives is very powerful because I remember that particular point. We were having lunch and I was busy on my phone. And what Jeremy Kubicek just said, Gabriel, 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 and he flashed three. And when he flashed three to me, I knew what he meant. I knew that Jeremy was calling me up to get out of my phone and socialize because we were having lunch as a team. So it was not helpful for me to be stuck up on my phone. So, what are the people around you that maybe this could be a liberation to? Just say, hey guys, it's 5 now. Hey guys, gear 3. This accountant you have in your office who is quickly to remind people of the reports they've not written when we are having an end year party. How do you remind them that, hey, 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 guys, it's gear 3. We are having end year party. It's not a time to remind people of the reports they've not finished. What does liberation look like in the light of the 5 gears? And of course, the question then to ask yourself as a leader, what is that mindset that you need to have? Who do you need to fight for their highest possible good? Could it be your spouse? Could it be your family members? Could it be your child? Could it be your siblings? Could it be a team member? Could it be a neighbor that you need to really fight for their highest possible good? And for me, I call this love. Love is when we fight for the highest possible good of those around us. And so, what specific support and challenge do they need from you? Is there someone that maybe you need to just go and challenge them on something? Is there someone that you need to go support? And depending on whether you are a nurturer, you are a connector, you're a guardian, and maybe for them they are opposite voices from you, what does support look like for them? For a nurturer, support might be different. If it's a pioneer also, what they're looking for support might be different from what a nurturer might be looking for support. And a connector might be looking at support differently from a guardian. And of course, challenge then in that aspect also, what does challenge look like? And of course, you can't apply the same treatment to everybody. So, what specific, and that might call for you to have a conversation with them. What support do you need from me? What challenge do you need from me? And then what is a tendency that undermined their influence? Do they spend so much time on gear 2? Or are they the connector who cannot separate play, they cannot separate work, they cannot separate fun with all, to them is all the same. And sometimes that has gotten into a space where they can't focus to get a gear 5 assignment done. And so what then do you need? What does liberation look like if you are a guardian and you need to liberate a connector? What does that look like? Maybe there's a pattern you've observed that you probably feel like this is undermining this person's influence. I wish they'll probably learn how to leverage on the following. How do you help them get to the next level? Do you need to coach them? Do you need to mentor them? Do you need to just apprentice them? Do you need to just show them how to do something? Do you need to just shut up and listen to them? Do you need just to sometimes just say, okay, I want to listen to you? And maybe that's how you might help them get to the next level. And you might not have answers to these questions until you ask the relevant people. So maybe the person you're feeling like you need to fight for their highest possible good, what you need to do is to go sit down with them and ask them these 3 questions. And these 3 questions, you can ask them every day, you can ask them weekly, you can ask them quarterly, you can ask them monthly, you can ask them semi-annually. And they say, hey guys, what specific support and challenge do you need from me? And they can tell you, all we need from you is just to acknowledge that we exist. That's it. Just acknowledge us. That's all we need. Or buy us some snacks every weekend, or invite us for whatever. So, in each of the circles of influence in your life, when you look at all these things, where are areas that you see that maybe you could do something? You could liberate someone. Is it at the family front? You will find that maybe there's a lot of gear 3. There's too much gear 3 at the family front that nothing gets done really, and there's no focus on gear 5. Of course, gear 3 is great, And at what point do you need to say, guys, let's shift gears? We probably need to focus on some few conversations or some few things so that we can move forward on the projects that we want to do as a family. Or is it at the work front, the team? Are some people struggling with setting boundaries on between the two gears, moving from gear two to gear three, or gear three to gear four, or gear four to gear five? So when you look at these 5 circles of influence, where can you bring liberation? So I want you to, as we'll be going to our breakout session right now, think of one person at work or at home. What do they need from you to be liberated? Which gear aspect of their life is their blind spot? Think of someone. Personally, for me right now, I have an accountant who I need to bring liberation to because she's a guardian and because she wants to be very professional, she takes too long to get some documents sent out. And so I need to then to be able to spend some time with her. And I learned something yesterday from Claire when we were doing some conversation yesterday. Claire, maybe you can repeat it if I don't get it right. Is it's better, Claire, if you can say it again
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
I don't.
It
Uh-huh.
doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be shared.
Yes, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just need to be shared. So that's a statement I learned from Claire yesterday. And so that's the conversation I need to have with my accountant and just let them know it doesn't need to be perfect, it just need to be shared. And then maybe we can collaborate in making it better. So as you go into your breakout rooms, who is this person that needs your liberation? Talk about that and let's meet in a few minutes. Welcome, Karen. Welcome. Okay,
Oh,
so someone Rich must have left. He might have left. He left. Okay.
did everyone?
Good. Welcome, Rich.
Did you get kicked out, Rich?
No, I just pressed the wrong button.
Oh no. Okay.
That happens.
Okay.
Welcome, guys. I hope you had a good conversation, wondering through who is exactly needs liberation in your corner. And so let's hear from a few people. Larissa, is Larissa, who came to mind and just what was going on in your conversation? Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was just talking about so I've got 4 people in my team and I manage them all quite differently because they've all got quite different personalities. And I've got a very sort of a very blue guardian in my team who likes to get everything done exactly the way that it needs to be done, but kind of the result is that they'll quite often sort of overwork more than they need to in order to kind of get to perfection at the end. And I've kind of been saying, actually, we're always really busy. You kind of need to think of it more like a marathon rather than a sprint. So like try and kind of pace yourself of like, actually you can only work a certain amount of hours every day and you can only get so many things done. And like that's fine. There's no expectation from me that you're like constantly sprinting. So yeah, I've been having a few conversations with them of that, of like just try and kind of take it down a notch. Like it doesn't always have to be at top speed all the time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Uh-huh. Karen, how was your conversation?
Um, yeah, I was just talking sort of about sort of own life first of all. I said it obviously at this moment in time I find I'm sort of trying to liberate my daughter. She's going through her GCSEs this year. Suffers with like dyslexia and dyspraxia. So at the minute there's a lot of sort of saying you can do this, you can, achieve what you need to do, sitting down, understanding what she's going through. Liberating her to sort of go to college and do what she really wants to achieve. At work, I've only just recently taken on the support services team leader role. So I'm still sort of in understanding what the team needs, what training they need, supporting them. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. It's good. Well, Sia from, and I hope I said this right. If I say it wrong, you forgive me. Woolhead. Woolhead. Is that how? Is it wool?
Sorry, I should
Woolhead?
have changed it. It's Sarah. It's Sarah.
Sarah. Sarah, forgive me.
It's not everything, so don't worry.
There's
So
the woolhead.
yeah, that's all right. I don't worry. So I'm trying to liberate a member of the team. So they're a really good worker. I don't have any problem with their work, but they just tend to shy away a little bit when it comes to taking responsibility and like to be in the background. And I feel they have so much more to offer me and offer the society. And I've sort of spoken to them over a week about some stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when they went off to do it, they got the other members of the team to come and help them. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to liberate you. You're more than capable to do this by
Mm,
yourself.
mm,
You do a fantastic job, da di da di da. And it's just, I felt a bit deflated really, because, and I know it's a work in progress, but I think I'm probably a bit like I wanted sort of it to work straight away. And I tried to say to them, look, you're a very capable person at doing this. You don't need the other two's help.
mm.
So it will be a work in progress, but I am going to work on it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And that is liberation right there. Raising the potential in them. And there's something going on and casting out. Maybe they have a doubt. Maybe they keep believing, they keep thinking maybe they're not good enough. So how do you help them be able to deal with that? And that's the liberation right there because they're looking at you, they've given you permission to lead them. And of course, they're looking up to you to guide them. And so, if you can speak into their life in a way that really will bring out the best in them, that's liberation right there. So, thank you guys. And even as you're thinking of liberation, and that's where that scripture, the scripture we just looked at today is very, very good. Is really, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong thing here. The scripture we looked at is very, very good because then it reminds us that then, as liberators, we need to raise the potential from people. We need to heal that doubt. We need to deal, we ask them to really go beyond some of those things that might make them not really show up their best. Now, as an individual, before you even go out to liberate, some of us might have to deal with some of the things that are going on inside of us because we need to overcome ourselves. Personally, I have a tendency to fear challenging someone else, because I'm a nurturer. And if you know the tendencies of a nurturer, conflict is something they run away from. They want harmony, they want agreement, and all those things. But when they have to say something that in their mind looks like it will hurt someone, a nurturer would probably not do that. And that sometimes might affect people because occasionally people come to me and they want me to tell them the truth. They want me to challenge them. And that challenge will be the liberation they're looking for. And so, how then, what is it that you need to do in yourself that you know yourself well? That for me to bring liberation, this is what is going to stand on the way. If it is support, this is what is going to stand on the way for me to support someone. If it is challenge, this is what is going to stand on the way for me to challenge the people that I need to challenge. And so, what then does it mean for you to rise above that and tell yourself, I'm going to give the challenge because that's what is needed for this person. This person needs me to challenge them because they've given me permission to lead them. They are in my team, or hopefully when you're talking of your family, hopefully your children can look at you as someone who they can give permission to speak into their lives because really they have to give you that permission. And for you to, they need to know that you are for them. And you're willing to fight for the highest possible good. Many times we see things going wrong in people's lives and we want to fix them. We're like, I wish they would just know this better. I wish. And we come in and we come pounding on them and telling them things that they're supposed to be doing. But probably they've not given us permission to speak into their lives in a way that we can influence them. Now, the minute they give you that permission to speak into their life, to influence them, what are the tendencies that might make you not really be able to do that very well? And what does it look at? What are some of the patterns? Do you have the patterns of always like a nurturer avoiding conflict, or you are a pioneer and someone needs you to give support to them, and you're not sure how to offer this support? And so, where then do you need to trade up? What do you need to do to actually be able to offer the right support as a guardian or as a pioneer or as a creative pioneer who your default might not be to offer support, your default might be to challenge. And for a nurturer and a connector or a creative connector, whom your default is always to support, but you might struggle to challenge. So, what are those tendencies that you need to map out and then be able to say, you know what, I'm going to challenge? Because this person trusts me enough and they've come to me and they're in my team and they want to still be part of my team, I'm going to be a liberator to them. And for me to be a liberator, I need to challenge them more than I do. Or for me to be a liberator to them, I've challenged them enough, I now need to support them. What does that look like for you? And so, what is it that you need to call? What is that you need to just say, this is it, this is the thing that is going to stand on my way to be a liberator to these people? This is it that is going to stand on my way, make me not be able to offer the support and challenge, make me not be able to help my people get to the next level. I have a very, so if you guys maybe I shared this at some point, late towards the end of last year, I had to let half of my team go. So the team I have right now, it's a team that has been there, but now they have new responsibilities thrown on their table, on their plates. And so some of them right now, I need to support some of them right now so that they can get a hang of, okay, so how does it look like? But now each of them needs different kind of support from me. I have a creative pioneer. They need a different support from a nurturer who is in my team. So how do I, without making assumption that all of them need the same support, what does it mean for me to be able to offer them the right amount of support that they need? But I can't just give them all support. I also need to challenge them because we've set together a 90-day plan. So by end of March, we'll be reviewing some things to see if we made a good decision early this year. So what does it look like for me then to challenge them enough so that by end of the 90-day period, which ends in March, we are not getting oops moments. A ball was dropped somewhere and we never picked it up. We never figured it out. And so I need then to be able to deal with myself as a nurturer who is leading a team to be able to offer liberation to my team. So I don't know what it is for you. What is it that you need to call? Own. And for me, when I'm owning all this, is I need to do the work in myself to let me know I'm leading a team. I've led this team for those many years, and they trust me enough, so I don't have to be afraid to challenge them. And so I need to deal with that. And then I respond by reminding myself that I'm a capable leader and I can lead them. I've led them in the past and I can lead them to the next level and then execute by just meeting them one on one. Those I need to meet one on one. After this session, I'm meeting my accountant just to have a conversation with her about what are the issues that maybe could be the patterns that are undermining her influence and how do we deal with those. Already she's doing some things very well, but there are some things that are not working so well and I've noticed a pattern. And so how then do we address that pattern in a way that liberates her as my accountant and she can continue to give the best as she continues to work for the team that we are part of. So for you, as we go back to our breakout, what exactly, as you look into the core process, what is your next step to liberate your team member? Who is this person that you need to liberate? And what is it that might be on the way for you that you need to deal with? Do you need to schedule it? Is it you're too busy? Could you be too busy that you are not able to stop and liberate a fellow team member? What is it? Claire, if you could just send us into the breakout for a few minutes and we could process that and then convene. I see Rich is probably going to be alone in his group alone. Oh, good.
There we go.
Well, good, good,
Right.
good, good. Welcome back, guys. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I hope that was enriching, if not depressing. Yeah, Rich, how was it, Rich?
Yeah. I was telling Karen I was resonating with what you were saying, Gabriel, about challenge. I'm a nurture creative, and yeah, challenge is the aspect that I'd rather do it myself than challenge someone to do it better, kind of thing. So
Mm,
I am looking ahead to change that. I think in another session, we talked about script. If you've got to challenge someone, script it out. So don't do it off the top of your head. Script out what you're going to say. That's helpful for me. Um, and yeah, so moving from the over support into the liberate quadrant is my focus. I don't have a
mm,
team right now, but I know if I get to a point where I do, I need to grow in that area. So
mm.
that's what I chatted about.
Hmm, that's good. I like that. Have a script. That's good. That's even me. I'm learning that. Because as an HR, sometimes this is what I need to say. This is what I
Yes.
need to say. And then you get into that space and you look at the person's face and everything poof. And now you're like, oh my God, if I keep saying that, they might feel offended. I don't want to offend them. So how can I make sure this is coming out nicely? And then they wonder, is that all? Is that all? Alex, how is it for you, sir?
No, good. I was with Sarah and Kate, and I think we had a really good conversation. I think it for me it really helps again with that sort of yellow green energy. Um, it helps to understand that certain spaces are for certain types of conversation. So if you're having a deliberate meeting in which, like a PDR or something like that, in which you're going to be talking about slightly more serious issues, challenges, obstacles, and like how can I help, or where are areas you can improve, or any of that stuff, then that's the point of that meeting, and in a way that empowers you to speak a bit more directly or more specifically, stuff like that. Whereas, if you saw them at the coffee point and you suddenly went, hey, it would be a great challenge for you, they'd be a bit like, whoa, 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 whoa. So actually acknowledging that in that space, you're sort of empowered to be more direct, to be more challenging, I think was quite helpful. And also to think, I guess, thinking of what would work for me, like what approach would work for me is a
Mm,
fairly good way of thinking, well, if that would work for me, I'm pretty sure that would work for somebody else.
mm, mm, mm. Thank you, Alex. As you're saying, I think I was thinking of text, texture, and context. So you might have the right text, and this is what I need to say. I need to challenge this person. But then texture, how you bring it out, it matters because some people will just be offended by how you say it. And then the context, the environment, everything else around that is going on when you say it, how you say it, where you say it. And that's why challenging someone in a coffee shop or challenging someone the first thing in the morning when they arrive in the office might probably not a good idea. So the timing and all those things, the environment become very key. While a pioneer might want you to bring it right away. I had a pioneer who I was leading and want it right away. And I'm like, as a nurturer, I'm not sure I can bring it right away. I think I have to deal with it first to bring myself to a point where I tell myself it is okay to say it, and then I can say it. Leanna, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, we were just kind of finishing the conversation that we had in the first half about, I was thinking about someone in my team who I know thrives best with clarity and certainty, which we don't have a lot of at the moment. So just sort of thinking that one of the roles that I can play is shielding them from some of the kind of like wild conversations that they actually don't need to be a part of to do the things that they need to do. So setting really clear expectations for them and giving them tasks that they can just go away and have autonomy on and deliver really well. And yeah, basically shield them from the kind of back and forth conversations that actually they don't need to be a part of, and it's just confusing for them to be a part of. So yeah, I'm trying to find ways to create spaces for other people to thrive if I can, in my role, shield them from some of the crazy.
I like that. Shield them from some things. That's good. Creating spaces for people, carrying spaces for people, creating spaces for people to thrive. And I think as a leader, that's your role, to create spaces for your people to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be given opportunity to be the best they can be. And I think as a leader, that's your role. And the minute people realize that you as a leader, you are not for them, you're not creating a space for them to thrive. You're not creating a space for them. They say people leave people, they don't leave organizations. And they'll just be looking for another place where then they can be seen. And so it's important to just be thinking through that. Kate, what are your thoughts on this when it comes to, yeah, dealing with ourselves even as we seek to liberate other people?
Yeah, so I was, really resonated with all of the green conversations. So yeah, I think I acknowledge that like I do find that really challenging when I have to like challenge or like, yeah, I suppose even if I approach it like as though I'm liberating someone, but I feel like I have to kind of highlight an area for improvement. I'm like, oh no, I just hate that feeling. Like I don't want them to be upset. I also think part of it is like I'm aware that I'm not perfect, so I'm like, I don't want to like look like a hypocrite by like criticizing someone else. But yeah, so I've got that sort of package, which I am aware of, but I think yeah, it was good to have the conversation with Sue and Alex of just like because a lot of us have green energy, so how like what are some tools kind of around that and just reflecting as well a bit of like trying to remind yourself that ultimately you do want the best for the other person. So it's like, yes, there are occasions where actually challenge is what is the best thing for that person. You're not doing it to be like intentionally cruel or nasty. You are actually doing it to help them grow. And also, yeah, identifying ways to help to bring that challenge, but also in a way that feels reflective of your sort of green personality. So, like, speak well, perhaps use examples, end with encouragement, things like that.
I like that. From your personality. And I like that, really communicating from the, because I know as a pioneer, I'm a nurturer and I cannot bring challenge as a pioneer word.
Mm.
And so if I want to bring a challenge to the degree of a pioneer, it's not gonna be authentic. It's gonna hold, it's not gonna help the person. And a pioneer also trying to copy how a nurturer brings whatever a pioneer wants. So I think you have just to figure out your part. How then do you, in your own way, in your own style, bring liberation? Because that's it. It's a lifestyle, and we need to have liberation as a lifestyle. As a leader, you need to be thinking of liberation. Liberation. Am I bringing liberation to my people? As a parent, and let me look at it, I have to be thinking of how am I liberating my children? As a spouse, am I liberating my wife? As a husband, does my wife feel liberated? And in many cases, the family front is where there's always a great challenge. When you think you're really, I remember once talking to a gentleman who said, Gabriel, I liberate my family, liberate my family. So then I told him, okay, go ahead and take this, the four quadrant, take this and go give it to your spouse, give it to someone to assess you. And interestingly, he was shocked how the wife plotted him. And the wife plotted him in a quadrant that, from his mind, he knew he was a liberator. And when the wife plotted him, Of course, he was so shocked and he asked the wife, "Really? How could you do that?" And the wife explained to him why the wife plotted him there. And he came back to me and said, "Gabriel, I thought I was liberating my wife, but my wife doesn't see me as a liberator." And of course, it then started out a chain of a lot of conversations. And of course, you might never be perfect. You might never really get it. But if, as Kate said, if people know your heart, they know you mean well for them. Then even sometimes when things go wrong, they know where you're coming from. And so, friends, as we close our time today, I charge all of us to just go out and figure out, walk the journey of liberation, be a liberator to your family, to your teams, to the organization, to the community, to your neighbor, and see what that plays out. And you probably will not get it right for the first time, but repetition is not redundancy, it is reinforcement. The more you have to redo it, don't feel like it's redundant, you're wasting so much time. It's reinforcing that. And maybe this might not be very brilliant to a pioneer, but repetition is not redundancy, it's reinforcement. Thank you, guys. I'll turn it over to Claire, if Claire maybe has some closing remarks. But thank you guys for giving me a chance to spend time with you.
Thanks, Gabriel. Just to say that next time we'll be back to the normal link that's in your calendars, but I will pop everything into the calendar. So you'll be able to see that in the email. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Thank you, Claire.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a wonderful
Bye.
one.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.